now. We're going live. We're going live. Oh, we're live, baby.
Oh,
Yeah, what's
yeah.
going on, guys? It's Brandon from Audio Addiction. Oh, wait, why isn't this showing? It says waiting still. What the fuck? Oh, here it is. Okay, cool. Anyway, what's going on, guys? It's Brandon from Audio Addiction. We have a lovely friend of mine back on the channel again. As I told you, it's CJ Dunleavy week here on Audio Addiction. So,
Man.
I already said your name. You can say what you do and all that jazz.
What's up, guys? My name is CJ Dunleavy. I am a solo pop artist from Philadelphia, and I'm dropping my EP, Everyone I Know Is a Song in the End, June 3rd.
There we go. Well, CJ, thanks for coming on, bud. Always a pleasure. Um, Very excited to listen to this new record. I have not, for purposes of said video, I have not listened to this record. So very excited about that.
I have
Uh,
tried. I'd be like, yo, you want to hear my EP? And you're like, no.
you have tried. So it's no fault of your own. I just like the fact that I'll have zero immersion, and then I'll be able to just give you the full gambit live on the channel direct. So very exciting. I believe I had asked you this in our interview, but I feel like now that it's obviously we're doing this live and I'm able to listen to it, how do you feel that the record is going to be coming out on Friday, June 3rd? I feel like, at least for me, I would be very excited about that.
Yeah. A lot of feelings going into it, like when you're going to launch something. Excitement, like 100%, because this has been unintentionally, as I mentioned in our other interview, this has been unintentionally 2 years in the making, so it's been a long time coming. So I'm really looking forward to having this out finally and having people listen to it. A little nerve-wracking too, just because there's a lot I have to do pre-release to set this up to make it the best possible release it could be. And part of that process is doing stuff like this and planning some various other things. So little nerve-wracking to make sure everything goes smoothly, but overall, I'm not letting that get take away from my excitement. So
There we go. Also, I want to mention that if the video on CJ's end it's very choppy. So if he's freeze frames, he's just like this throughout the entire.
I won't move any of my hands in the frame anymore.
It's not your hands. I meant just
Oh,
literally the video cuts in. You'll see a little bit of movement, and then you'll see you'll move back, and then you'll move over here. It's great.
oh,
I'm
awesome.
having a. It's not good on your end, but it's gonna
Oh,
make for a funny video,
it,
I think.
it looks great to me, to be
Yeah.
honest. This looks like the smoothest video I've ever seen from my end. So,
Well, you'll have to watch back in the beginning. Hopefully, we can hopefully we can your internet will hold up. But I'm very excited to listen to this. Like you said, you've been trying for a very long time to get me to listen to some of these songs. And I feel like now that we are doing this live, I get to experience it all for what it is. In terms of, what song took the longest to kind of craft? Is there any song on this one that has, spent the most time, sitting and waiting and being ready to be released?
a lot of them kind of took their own sweet time in a way.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them were written at different like points in time. So it could be like Nicotine, I know, was the last song to be written on
Oh,
this
wow.
EP.
Okay.
For that, I think Talking was unintentionally the first one, and Talking was written in 2019. Nicotine was written in 2020, going into 2021. So like there's a lot of spaces between them, but I would probably say maybe probably Nicotine only because it took I was trying to like get back in the saddle of writing, so I had to rewrite it a couple times, get a couple renditions before I landed on this guy.
Sure. Well, very excited. Like I said, guys, I hope you enjoy. The record comes out on June 3rd, less than a week from now. So please go check it out. There will be links after this stream is over with to go check it out. Go listen to it. But this is first listen for most people. I don't even think I don't know how many people you have shown this record to, but including myself. So this is not too many. I don't think not too many are on the cutting room floor here, you know.
I actually I had one too many and showed my buddy Alex, I think a week or so ago. I was like, "You want to listen to my EP?" He's like, "Yeah, man." And so I blasted it in my house, but I think that's the only one.
Wow. All right. There we go. All right, guys. Well, we're going to get into the first track, which is, as CJ politely mentioned, Nicotine. Very excited to listen to this. Again, fresh. I have not listened to any of this. So
I'm ready to see your reaction.
He's ready to just see me get either hyped up, or I'm going to do the Simon Cowell, like, arm cross, like, you know.
He's going to do, like, the, yeah, man, that stuff sucks.
Yeah, man, that's good. Like, keep working.
Get off the
keep
airwaves,
working at it. But anyway, guys, we're going to get into Nicotine. The first track off of Everyone I Know is a song in the end. And hopefully you guys enjoy, hang out, chat. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, in the live chat here if you're live. If not, drop them in the comments too. But we're going to count it in 3, 2, 1.
You're like nicotine without high. Only want 'em if they're rich. Blame it on your star sign, but I think that you're just a bitch. Nicotine without
Nice transition.
chasing love or chasing lines. Wish I could go back in time before you got my car declined. Take it back, love. Half the time you're on drugs. Nothing ever goes your way. Do you miss me? Thought you might be the only shade you can throw is gray. Whatever, it's a new bar, new guy. Hooking up is just fine. Yes, we all need new ways.
Yo, this instrumental is tight, though.
You have a drink. Fall in love, then to the floor. We're playing games, start keeping score. I'm so tired of making things work. I bought new clothes cause you took all my shirts. Hope the laughs were worth all the fights. Now I know that you are like nicotine without high. Only want to live the rich. Blame it on your star sign, but I think that you're just a bitch. Nicotine without high. Chasing love or chasing lines. Wish I could go back in time before you got my car declined.
The echo. You should have thrown a DJ Khaled in there.
It always seems to start with a broken heart. Saw the red flags coming, but I'm not that smart. Get sad just like the broken parts, but you can't pick
like
up
guitar
the pieces
riff,
and
guitar
pretend
part in
it's
there.
art.
All right.
I'm so tired of making things work. I bought new clothes, you took all my shirts. Oh, the laughs are worth the fight. 'Cause now I know that you are like nicotine without high. Only wanna live the rich. Blame it on your star sign, but I think that you're just a bitch. Nicotine without high. Chasing love or chasing lines. Wish I could go back in time before you got my car declined.
All right. Okay. I like.
Katie,
the
I'm not doing a flip. Just text me.
Nicotine without high. Only want 'em if they're rich. Blame it on your star sign, but I think that you're just a bitch. Nicotine without high. Chasing love or chasing lines. Wish I could go back in time before you got my car declined.
I thought you were gonna hit me with one of those pop runs, you know? Oh, you did? All right, never mind. I spoke to you. All right.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys, if you're just tuning in, we just finished listening to the first track off of Everyone I Know Is the Song in the End. It is called Nicotine. Check it out about a week from now. I like this one a lot. I was really vibing out. The instrumentals are on point. I really like the kind of like the vibe that it had going off. Very like, I know we talk about this on a very frequent basis, but it definitely had that kind of like Black Bear, like, you know, very like dreamy kind of like pop vibe to it. There was one spot that I thought you were just gonna go ham on, and I thought for sure in that bridge portion, I thought something was gonna come out. Like I thought there was gonna be something like mad hype about it, and it just felt like it just kind of like went down, and then obviously the chorus brought it back up again, which was solid.
We actually, so we decided to keep the bridge wordless for that reason. We talked about, should we do something there? And the decision was no, for that reason. We're going to keep it chill. So we can have it build up and make the instruments hit a little more with those drums, and then just slam it in with the chorus. Because if we added more words, I think it would have added an unnecessary section that could have just taken a little bit less away from the chorus there. But yeah, what's funny about writing the song was I wanted to make a song that sounded so happy and sweet and fun with lyrics that were really mean.
They were. We talked about the shirt idea, so we might as well air out the dirty laundry.
So the irony of the song was what made it happen, but I had an idea of having like some kind of like tarot thing, or like a tarot poster, like some kind of astrology thing on a t-shirt, but and then on top it says "You're actually just a bitch." But I decided not to do that. But you guys let me know if that's.
You gotta this is the test crowd. You gotta see whether or not the merch is gonna work or not.
Focus groups right here.
Focus group, yeah, the live focus group. They're like, do it. That's great. I'd wear it. But yeah, no, I was half expecting there to be like just a like nasty guitar solo. I feel like that would have been super hype. Now, like with the instrumentals.
We had a guitar, so there is an electric guitar in there. We actually had Mike wrote an entire Mike, the guy I co-wrote a lot of these songs with. He had a full intro planned at the start of the song, and it was great. But when I was recording this like on a guitar, and I sent it to Mike so he could work with me on creating the beat and the instruments, he sent all of that to Jeff, the guy who mixes and masters, who mastered the whole EP. He had that voice memo that I sent, and he just, as a joke, put it in the song, and then the song actually started. We were like, honestly, this is really good. We should just keep it as is. I talked about this in another video that hasn't been released yet, but we didn't tell Mike that we did that because he was coming in the next day, so we waited until the next day for him to hear it, and he was so confused. But sorry, I think he was about it too. It was funny to see his reaction as well.
I'm glad it made it into the final edit, because I feel like it worked. At first I was a little concerned because I was like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, this seems so, like, I was just like, is this just an acoustic song or something? And then, like I said, once the beat came in, I was like, oh, okay, I get it now.
It's got a cool symbolism too. It's got a really cool symbolism to going back to how I started as an artist, of being a nice folky acoustic guitar singer-songwriter with a little bit of instruments backing, not just in the background. But it was like a nice callback to how I started versus the music that I write now, which is very different.
It is, yeah, it's tremendously different.
Yeah, right.
We talked about that in the interview. Not to shill about that, but links will be in the description to go watch that. Which, it's the CJ Dunleavy week here on the channel. It's like Shark Week, but with less sharks. But this one was one that I was initially like, at first I was like, okay, what's he trying to do? And then like towards like the middle of the song, and once that chorus hit, I was like, okay, I get what he's trying to do. It works out. Um, as you had mentioned, this one's one of the older songs that was released. How, and we kind of talked about like the video memo beginning, like how much has changed from that point? Like obviously, was it just literally like you singing on guitar and then just you send it over to Mike, or like how did that process come to be and then obviously end up to where it's at now?
Yeah, nothing really changed from beginning to end. I wrote it on acoustic guitar with just the rhythm, and the chords, and then Mike and I went back and forth on how the song should sound. But pretty much, Mike kind of knew from the get go where he wanted to take it with the information that I had given him. And I think from there it took a little bit more just because he wanted to think of cool ways to follow it up. So he came up with the nylon guitar in the second verse. And then only thing that really changed was in recording. There's the line, take a pick, call it goals, have a drink, lose control. Evan, who was there for the recording and mixing mastering process, he had the idea of making the call it goals and lose control in the background, and he was like, make it like a DJ. I was like, call, and then I didn't understand that, so I was like, take a pick, call it goals. He's like, it kind of sounded like a Jamaican DJ. I just be a little more chill. And that's what we're looking for.
You're at a 10 right now. We need you at like a 6 or a 5.
Yeah. So that was really the only thing. This song, I think we had a pretty clear idea of where we wanted to take it from start to finish.
I just like how that your hype level 10 is like a Jamaican man. That's
I know, right? Now I know. I learned so much about myself.
You really did. I just learned a lot about you just now, knowing that your hype level is a Jamaican man. Secretly, I think you're just a Jamaican man.
But I would say that's actually more towards what started and versus how it ended would be much more and better left unsaid, because how I started that song is very different to what came out.
That's true. And then in terms of lyrics, like we did touch on it a little bit earlier, but in regards to like kind of the lyrical background of the song, if you care to divulge, feel free to.
So there were two lines: "You're like nicotine without the high," and "Blame it on your star sign, but I think you're just a bitch." Those were two separate ideas I had in my notes that just kind of sat there for a long time. And I was just cooped up, writing songs. And it took me a while to land on a good chorus for the chords that I had written. And I was really happy with how it took a couple days, but I realized it kind of like there was like a light bulb because they were in two different sections of my phone to link those together. So from there, I just had to figure out how to build a song around that.
Yeah, I feel like it kind of worked out. And then in terms of like the lyrical process too, like you said, you had different notes. So when the notes finally came together in terms of the other lyrics in the song, were they all kind of thought up once you guys were kind of in the studio, or was that all before you got into the studio and obviously worked on the songs and had them released?
Oh, it was all beforehand, yeah. Because Mike, actually, I really appreciate how honest he was with me, because it took a couple different drafts to come up with the first verse. The second verse was no problem, but just to like get the wheels going, I had drafts and I sent them to Mike, and he's like, honestly, dude, like you could do better. I know you can. So I appreciate him for being honest and pushing me to come out with what we have now. But it was all beforehand. But the beforehand took a lot of work and a lot of rewriting.
You should have had Mike on here too. That would have been.
I forgot to tell him we were doing this. So
big shout outs to Mike. Love Mike. Love the dude.
Sorry, Mike.
I think it would have made the process a lot easier because you're like, yeah, did the lyrics, and then Mike did the beat, and then we just sit here in ominous silence for like 5 minutes, and then I'm like, so the next song is better.
Actually, maybe I'll text him. But
maybe make a guest appearance. This one thus far we're at the number one slot. I mean, it's the number one song right now. I will make a joke about track number 3 once we get to that point. But for the second song, track number 2, this one's Better Left Unsaid. I have heard this one, not at my own accord, but I had listened to it because CJ had enlisted me to help him record a music video for certain songs that will be in a music video format. I'm not gonna disclose the storyline or anything like that, so you're gonna have to go subscribe to his, see, chilling. Here we go. Go just subscribe to his YouTube channel, and that will be coming out in the foreseeable future. I'm not gonna put a date out there, but we're gonna listen to track number 2, "Better Left Unsaid," in 3, 2, 1. Oh, here we go.
Up nice but still feeling dirty, didn't stop us from being flirty, crossed a line but we agreed that it was more than fine.
Totally different. 180.
Let's have meaningless sex, we pretend to fall in love and remember to forget. Lips pressed on my neck, I'm getting too good at making things intense. I am still in love, it's true, and I hope you don't know this song is for you, 'cause some things are better left unsaid. So forgive me if I seem to be a little lost, 'cause lately things they haven't made much sense.
All right. I like the layer. That's cool.
They haven't made much sense. Backtrack, fade to black. Now that I know there's no strings attached, can we start over? Or should we wait till we're older? Knock, knock, it's me. Feelings, did you catch me? Looks like you fall for every girl you see. By sunrise, it always dies. Funny how it starts with a hand on a thigh. I am still in love, it's true, and I hope you don't know this song's for you, 'cause some things are better left unsaid. So forgive me if I seem to be a little lost, 'cause lately things they haven't made much sense. By now you know, 'cause I called and told you some things are better left unsaid.
All right, guys, if you just tuned in, that was track number 2, "Better Left Unsaid." There wasn't a lot that was unsaid. There was a lot that was said in that song.
I said a lot there.
You said a lot there. This one was solid. I like this one a lot. It was a lot different from I think some of the previous songs that we that I've listened to, like especially the first song, Nicotine. In terms of the writing time frame, how long ago was this one written? And I guess from the starting point of the song all the way to like what we hear now on the EP, how much of a change did it go through?
A huge one, dude. I actually, it started out, I was writing this song. It was like really folky. It started out as a little writing exercise. I had some chords planned, and I was like, yeah, how much can I do? How far can I go with these 3 little chords? And then out of nowhere, like what ended up becoming the chorus just like came out of me. I'm like, where the hell did that come from? And now, granted, this song is very loosely based on a true story, and it's very, on a personal note, the artist versus me personally, it's very exaggerated piece of something that did happen to me, and it came out very folky, and I honestly didn't really want the song released because
Sure.
I felt it was very, very personal and real. So even even though it's based on loosely based on a true story. So it started out as a really folky piece. I'd love to drop the acoustic at some point, but from there to what it ended up becoming was a huge 180. I talked with Mike a while, and we tried to figure out what we wanted to do. And it took a couple renditions before I landed on one.
Sure.
And I was like, I don't know what how we're feeling about this. Mike is like, well, what don't you like? I was like, I don't like the guitar. Maybe we should do a different instrument. He's like, I think you just don't like the notes. Let me change the notes. And he got back to me later in the day. It was 8 o'clock on a Monday night. I remember this specifically. And he's like, hey, man, just send it over. Let me know what you think. And I hear the
Yeah.
I was like,
This is it.
and then the drums hit. I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. And I was so excited. I had to call him and was like, Mike, I love this. And then it kind of set a tone for whenever we communicated about this song, we had to call each other about it because we were both really excited with what the other person was doing. And I remember I was about to go to the gym when I was in this huge workout phase. I was trying to figure out what to do for the second chorus, and I had a couple different melody ideas. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to the gym to work out, but I'm gonna record. It was a very elaborate process. I would play the song on my computer, I would record on the voice memos on my phone and sing into my phone and then send that to Mike. And I was like, I'm still in love, it's true. And then I just sent that, and then I went to the gym. And then in the middle of working out, he called me. He's like, oh my God, dude. I was like, really? I was like, I didn't know how I felt about it. I was like, dude, no, you have to do that. And he's like, when are we going to record this? I was like, I got some time today. He's like, yeah, I could probably do like 3. It was 1 at the time. I was like, all right, cool. I'm just going to stop working out. I'll come over. And that was the last time I ever went to the gym. But no, I'm kidding. But we went over that day, and I have to post the video, what we took at the time. It was like the rough take, and it was so awesome when we actually recorded it. But yeah, it went from that to the recording, the final process. Actually, some of the ooze in the hook were actually Jeff himself doing it. So
Kudos to Jeff.
So yeah, no, it from conception to what we have now, very different, and I honestly wouldn't change a thing about it. I'm so happy with how the journey came out.
Yeah, I think for me, like I would have to listen to like the acoustic version to kind of get the I want to say love for the track, but I feel like to get a better idea of like how much it changed, because like for me it's like I thought it was really solid, and I did like kind of like after like the chorus, then it kind of gets into that like real like the drums start coming in, and then like just like the whole like layering aspect of the song is really well put together. And I do appreciate kind of how Mike put a lot of the different like vocal layers together, and as well as like some of these like some of the stuff you can hear in like the background almost. It's like really strange. If you have like very good quality headphones, then you'll probably be able to hear kind of more of like I don't even know how to explain it, like almost like a rotoscoping sort of effect. And I thought that was really cool. I do think comparatively, as I mentioned, like in the actual reaction portion of the song, like, you know, Nicotine has such this like, you know, such a strong energy to it, and the kind of to have the kind of counterbalance of that being obviously better left unsaid. I do like the juxtaposition of that because it is a very strong contrast. And then you know, lyrically I feel like there's a lot more depth to this track than I feel like Nicotine.
Sure.
Not to say that Nicotine's like bad, but
no, it's more like anthemic is the word.
Yeah.
Nicotine's the one that you're just gonna like, you know, like jump up and down to at a party. Like they both serve different environments. So no, I 100% agree.
I think they both serve two different purposes. And I think even when we mentioned like in the interview of having that that line of like where you have songs that are more like in that lane, and then you have other songs that are more in that sort of pop, like, you know, stronger sort of like Black Bear Field. And I think I'm curious to see if there's going to be songs that kind of straddle those lines between like, you know, the more pop style stuff that you're doing, as well as kind of like your background, like the original reason, you know, of making music, which is like more in that sort of folksy singer songwriter sort of feel. And I'm curious if there's going to be some sort of middle ground between those two, which I feel like there's still much, you know, there's still a lot of time for, you know, CJ Dunleavy, the artist, to evolve and grow. And I'm very curious to obviously see what's coming next. But I thought this one was very well put together. Like, I think I was a little bit surprised on initial kind of listen. I feel like this one is one that I'm going to have to listen to a lot more and get more acquainted with, rather than Nicotine, where Nicotine is just like right in your face. The hype's there, you know, like it's going to stay at that level. Like Better Left Unsaid, I feel like has more layers to it and is a little bit more, I don't want to say thought-provoking, but is more intelligent in the way that it was like arranged and like lyrically how it kind of plays along with the vibe of the song. So very curious, excited about that one. In terms of like in terms of influences, were there artists in that specific time frame when you were writing Better Left Unsaid, and when, you know, obviously Mike was writing that song, were there any artists that you were listening to particularly that kind of affected how, like, the delivery of some of the vocals on some of the songs? Because I feel like comparatively to Nicotine, there is quite a difference in terms of delivery. So I'm curious if there was any artists that you were listening to that affected that.
No, I hate music. I don't listen to anything but myself. No influences were had. Oh, I got you floored. I'm proud of that. No,
this is not floored.
I'm gonna get you floored.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
As you know, I think you can definitely hear the Black Bear influence, because I was really big through the timeline of writing these songs. You know, I was listening to a lot of Black Bear. I started out listening to a lot of like Ed Sheeran and the folk, or other folk things. Ed Sheeran's more poppy, but like all those pop singer-songwriter stuff. And then I discovered Black Bear as I was going through a breakup and trying to find my place in the dating scene. And I remember I was, again, in my workout phase. I was listening to Black Bear. He just came on my headphones. I didn't know who he was. And it was Do Re Mi. And it was like, I remember the one part is like, because everybody want to tap that ass all night. And I was like, ooh! And then I'm listening to but I relate to this so hard. So, so Black Bear was a huge influence on the EP. But I knew I hadn't really written a lot of songs that had like a hook to them up until this point. Really, it was because Nicotine hadn't been written yet. Don't Mind Me was the song that had just came out. It was Don't Mind Me. Talking didn't really have a hook, so I knew I wanted to do something like that for this song. So it was just a lot of like, you know, the typical, you know, not typical, but a format that a lot of pop right now has. Not to say that it's the, you know, I'm trying to be the same, but I knew that there was I was trying to follow a certain structure that I hadn't before.
You knew that there is kind of, I don't want to say tropes, but there isn't certain stylistic choices within pop music that I feel like you were hitting, you know, no pun intended, you were hitting kind of the notes of that. So, you know, I'm curious to see, like, obviously as we go on and some of the songers become more newer to, at least like in terms of time frame in the timeline. I think it's going to be interesting. So
I gotta say, shout out to Katie. I'm pretty sure she's still watching because she's actively texting me during the live stream. Shout out to your sister as well for liking Better Left Unsaid. Thank you both. I actually, Katie was a huge help while I was going through certain things during the timeline of writing this EP. So I actually sent her the lyrics to Better Left Than Said before I even like it. So so it's cool that she's on here, seeing the origin story to what we got now. So
the reality.
Thanks for being there while all this shit actually happened. So
anyway, we're gonna move it into track number 3. It Ain't Me. I'm going to make a quick like joke / funny bit. So CJ and I know each other very well, to the point where we kind of do similar things. I'm not gonna explain why. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. So I would open my phone on Instagram, and I'm pretty sure that every time I got an ad about his music for this song particularly, and I thought it was great at first, and then as I kept getting the ads more and more and more, I started to become a little bit more bitter and start to hate it a little bit more.
Every time you opened up,
it was basically every time that I opened up my phone to check like something on Instagram, it was like I scrolled through a story, and then like list number 3, it was just like CJ Dunleavy, It Ain't Me. Click the link to check out his Spotify, and I'm like. And I literally did one of these, and I was like, "Bro, we can't. This can't be. Why is this real?" So
Mike texted me. I told him about the live stream. Hopefully,
so
Mike
will be hopping in the live stream. But I wanted to make a joke about that because honestly, no John's. It was I had literally gotten his ads like, I don't know. I don't know how long you were running him for, but I'm almost positive I had it going for like
an eternity.
I think I got it at least 30 times.
You sent it to me every time.
I sent it to him every time. It was very bad, but you know, good on CJ and his ability to lock in his fan base, which apparently is just me. So it's just me. I'm actually just a fan, and I don't actually have a YouTube channel. So, but anyway, we're gonna move it into It Ain't Me. I'm very excited about this one, even though I've probably beaten this song into the ground because of how, you know, I'm gonna put my bias. This is my bias here. I'm gonna put my bias over here for that song, and I'm gonna go into it with a new fresh ears. Fresh motivation, and we're gonna get it started in 3, 2, 1.
I had a dream, we were sipping whiskey neat, highest floor of the Bowery, and I was high enough. Somewhere along the lines, we stopped seeing eye to eye. You were
This is very Blackberry-ish.
all night, and I had enough.
Some might argue this is the most Blackberry-ish.
I don't know where you've been or where you're going, but I know I won't be home, and you'll be on your own. Who's gonna walk you through the dark side of the morning? Who's gonna rock you when the sun won't let you sleep? Who's waking up to drag you home when you're driving all alone? Who's gonna walk you through the dark side of the morning? 'Cause it ain't me.
I heard this so many times.
It ain't me.
I like the vocal effects on this.
I'll take with me the Polaroids and the memories, but you know I'm gonna leave behind the worst of us. Who's gonna walk you through the dark side of the morning? Who's gonna rock you when the sun won't let you sleep? Who's waking up to drive you home when you're driving?
That is cool. The drums, that's
Who's
awesome.
gonna walk you through the dark
just be there should be a metal version of this song. It would work. Alright guys, if you're just tuning in, that was It Ain't Me. Also, jokingly enough, we've made the It Ain't Me joke too many times at a certain place. I'm not going to disclose, but it was, we've made many a jokes at CJ's expense, so. But actually, funnily enough, we have a few comments. What's going on, Dan and Grant? I don't know. And they keep saying, give me merch, so.
Oh my God. Dan texted me that too. I didn't know he was actually coming. I just ignored it.
There's plenty of, somebody's trying to give merch away. That's the reality of it. And then Nelly Pot Ginger asked, what's your favorite whiskey?
Dude, I hate whiskey. Now Ryan, that's my good buddy Ryan. Rhea loves whiskey. Like, she's a big Jack girl. I learned that I may like rum though. I don't know if that's any consolation, but I never have a good time with liquor because I drink it as if I'm drinking beer, and they are not the same. In my humble opinion, I don't know if I lost your respect, but
we'll find out. We'll find out in the chat here.
Yeah.
But this one, bias aside, I really enjoyed it. I feel like, if anything, this is like I feel like this could be a pseudo metal song because all I could hear is just like some like sick breakdown parts.
Guitar, yeah.
You know, and guitar wise. So I'm also curious in terms of acoustically, like you said, a lot of these songs kind of have that backbone of just being written acoustically. So I feel like this contrast might be probably the biggest one, I'd argue, on the entire record. Just because, again, kind of following in that same vein of like, Nicotine. I feel like this one's more in that sort of Black Bear kind of realm or headspace. But I really enjoyed it. It's got kind of this like sort of dark pop kind of undertone to it, which was really nice. And shouts to Mike on the instrumentals because it sounds nuts.
Does it again.
He does again. The man does it. But it was really cool in terms of musical change. How I imagine this one changed a lot, obviously. But in terms of like musical background and stuff, like what were you trying to go for this one? I feel like this one went through, I would imagine, a lot of iterations.
It actually, so the song, I got it. Well, I was listening to Selena and listening to this banger that she put out, and I was like, because I think the original that she wrote with Kygo for this song is an absolute jam. My only qualm with this song is her hook. After she says, it ain't me, like, it's more house. Like, it's meant to be, like, played at a bar. It's like, bop, 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 Bowery, and then it just goes into, like, this dance number. And, like, I don't feel it. Like, I think, I was like, everything about the song, like, the beat, her melody, her lyrics are perfect. And I was like, this one part, like, I just don't know how I feel. And I was like, you know what, like, what if I covered it and did it and made a cover of it as if I wrote it instead? And I was like, Mike, I told Mike about it. And I was like, can we do something with this and something with my style? And we went back and forth. It's like, okay, yeah, I know what we're doing. So we ended up doing, we took the mood that it was originally, like a nice, happy, bittersweet, nostalgic vibe, to dark and haunting and completely opposite and different from what it was. And he did it so perfectly. Like, I could not have been happier with what we ended up coming with. And I'm glad. What's nice about recording a cover too, like vocally, is how much quicker it is than doing your own song. Because when you're in the vocal booth singing, there's nothing there to guide you. Like, you're singing over it. with this, we had Selena's singing, so I could just sing something similar to what she was doing. So singing it was pretty quick in the recording process.
Yeah, I can imagine that being coming pretty quickly, and obviously the cover very well done, even if I have the angst in my heart to not love this cover. But I thought you guys killed it on, like, especially because I don't think I listened to it all the way through. I only heard like the clip that I got from Instagram, so I only got a smidge of like the entire song, and so I feel like this one, cover wise, was really well executed. If you had told me it was a cover, I wouldn't have thought it. It just feels commonplace and kind of what you're writing right now. So you can take that as a compliment if you want. If you want to put that on your list of compliments that I give you, then you can take that one there.
I was kind of nervous, dude. Like I was kind of scared because like I'm a man and Selena is not, and I was very worried that she is a
Wait,
beautiful...
she's not a man? Okay, Mike.
Soprano voice. Yeah, big reveal. And I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I can hit these notes. And I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll just do it. Because there were some parts in like the falsetto that are my falsetto that aren't hers. Like, oh my god, is that going to be a problem? And then I like sang it to myself. Like I recorded it and played it back. It's like, it's probably not going to be a problem. Let's just do it. And then I'm glad I just trusted my intuition because we got what we did out of just trusting the process.
Somebody was... Wow, we're just having a whole conversation about alcohol here in the chat here, so big ups, love it, love to see it. Personally can't do it, but respect. But yeah, no, I feel like it fits very well with your style and your sound, and obvious jokes aside, I think it really works in the whole commonplace of the EP. And so was it kind of your intention to put it in the middle as kind of more of a breakup to the EP? Because I feel like a lot of the other songs here obviously are, original music. So was it kind of, when you were putting the EP together, did you really want to have that cover song in the middle to be like, hey, so this song, but it's a little different? And then... Oh,
absolutely. Absolutely, yes. So I wanted to I wanted to make the track listings by energy. So I have it like really kick off with Nicotine with really high energy, and then take it back a notch with Better Left Unsaid, where it's a little darker and thought provoking.
Sure.
With energy, and then hit you back with something that is. Then hit you back with something that's familiar because, it's a cover, but also it just kind of keeps you guessing what kind of energy is coming next. So I thought, go up with Nicotine, take it back a little bit in a different environment with Better Left Unsaid, and then bring it back up with something familiar but completely new. So it kind of keeps you guessing on what the energy is to keep it balanced.
I like it. I think it was intelligently put together. I think when I have bands on and they're methodically thinking about how the songs go in terms of, how you listen to them and stuff, I think it's always nice when there's an artist that really thinks about how the songs are placed on the record, and then, obviously how they kind of, grow, for if it's like a full-length record, if it's an EP, I think it just works out very well. So kudos for throwing that one in there, as much as like I would love to not get ads for this song anymore. I probably still will. But we're going to move it into the next track, guys. It's track number 4. It's Broken Ones. I haven't heard anything about this one. This one is grade A fresh goodness here. So we're going to kick it off in 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay.
I've never said a word.
Yeah.
Lips shut
right.
so you'd feel hurt. It never seemed to make sense. Should play sports cause you're so good on defense. But thank you for giving me the trauma that I went through. Cause now press is calling it my debut. Blonde hair, red beard, yeah, that too. Touch Does it hurt your face or an
This feels like a club pop vibe here.
It takes a lot to be so flawed. This one's for me.
Ooh.
Every time you got drunk and cashed me out, I thought it was love, but I don't
All
feel
right.
nothing now. Yeah, I'm all I need.
This one's hot. I like
Nobody
this one.
tells
This
you
is number
how
one
you'll
right now.
get screwed when the broken ones break you too.
Yeah, this is it. Guys, we delivered. This is the one. All right.
Girl, tell me what's your name, give me a sign. Is it alright if I take you home? We
This
can
is-
stay
is
up
this
late,
Mike?
talk a night like you
Yeah, this is Mike.
Oh shit!
Everything too bright and yeah. All these things got me thinking about you. How cold as hell, but it feel like summer got me sweating.
Alright.
Now. Every time you come around,
Yeah,
got your
this is
homies
it.
yelling out. Hoo, hoo. Yeah, civil on the beat, but I'm heading out.
I like that. He did his best DMX impression there.
Every time you got drunk and cashed me out, I thought it was love, but I don't feel nothing now. Yeah, I'm all
Yeah,
I
this one's
need.
it. Yeah, this one's it.
Just nobody tells you how you'll get screwed when the broken ones break you too.
I don't know what it's.
It's definitely a guitar or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely
something fun.
keys with like the slider function. The live it should be an electric guitar.
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
Guys, if you just tuned in, this is track number 4, Broken Ones. This one features our good friend Mike. Shoutouts to Mike. Was not expecting that. That one came out of very much left field.
Wow.
But I love this one. This one is
Wow.
this one's certified bop status right now. I
Damn.
like it. This is like
You know what's
this
funny?
this
This
is
is
like
actually
this
my
is like a
least-
pop. Really? I love this one. This is great.
that's
This
great.
one feels like this one honestly feels like a cut off of like a Black Bear like record. Like it feels like a kind of, I wouldn't say it's like kind of in the middle of like Dead Roses and kind of Digital Drug Lord. Like if they had a baby, that's the sound you're kind of got going for. I think this one could be a summer hit, you know. I could foresee the vibes here, you know. I like the instrumentals are like super vibey. Then Mike comes in with like a nice rap, you know, a nice rap verse, you know, which was like totally unexpected for me. And then, you know, obviously Where My Dog's At, you know, with the woof woof, you know, gotta throw that in there. I don't know, it just hit, like, I've been really getting into more like pop influenced music, and I feel like this one strikes all the chords on this one. So I was jiving with this one. This one is a vibe. I think I'm surprised you don't like this. Why don't you like this one?
It's not that I don't like it. I just felt like I think Talking has such a special place in my heart that I think it kind of took up a lot of attention for me. I do like it. Took a little bit more to grow on me, which is funny because I wrote it. I talk about it as if it's like some
You're
new
like
song.
I hate this fucking song. I don't even know why I put it on here.
No, but I actually, funny enough, my girlfriend really likes it. So the idea behind this song was I was a college student when I started writing this song, and it was actually a little bit, couple months after I had released Don't Mind Me, and Don't Mind Me is a true story. And I knew going through a breakup, you have a lot of emotions, especially as an artist. You want to know how you want to emulate what you're feeling. And when I came out with Don't Mind Me, I knew I wanted to make something that was more emotional.
Sure.
I felt like that was going to be the bigger impact for what was happening in the moment then. But I had a lot of emotions in post about that relationship and that breakup. And I wanted to show the other side of things where I'm like, you know, kind of pissed off at what happened. And And I'm like, some shit's just not fair. And some parts, is this a real story? Are all of these things factual? No. But I felt like every time I got drunk and cursed me out, thank you for giving me the trauma that I went through. I wanted to make a real glow up song, so I felt like that was really relatable for anyone who'd ever been through, something really, really tough romantically is where I wanted to come from it. Like, because it's not all sad. Getting out of it's really hard, but also wanted to show like, yeah, I'm pissed off, but I'm gonna make this the best thing that ever happened to me. Like that, show the ambitious side of trying to flip it around.
It feels very like, I think it's kind of very similarly to Nicotine, where it's like a very upbeat kind of song, but then like lyrically there's a lot more like angst and depth to it that I appreciate. And just kind of from more of an ancillary level of like just listening to it and being like, okay, this is a vibe, I'm feeling this, and then later I'm just gonna have a box of tissues and cry like into the tissue box, so that's been really cool to see that. And I know we talked about it in our interview where like I think lyrically you have taken a step up in terms of like what you're writing, what you're writing now, like back then, obviously, and what you're writing currently. I think there's just a lot more, there's a lot more just vibes to it in general. I think that the way that the lyrics are crafted were a lot more intentional and a lot more, I think, methodical in that aspect. So, and then just to kind of have it with this sort of like more like pop sensibility, I think it's a good way to kind of, I don't want to say make it digestible, but just make it seem more like, okay, these two things are like completely divergent, but like, what if I made something that kind of formed both of those two things together, and then just like been like, here you go, here's the presentation of like this. So I feel like what people are saying in the comments about saying that this is a great music to do dishes to, can argue that said Nelly Bot Ginger said that.
That was Ryan. Oh my God, Ryan, I love you. That's amazing.
Can't confirm that it does make dishes easier, but I can confirm it is a bop. And then Reyes said, or like literally anything, driving, folding laundry, etc. Can confirm about like the just vibing out, but I'll have to put the driving into practice as well as the folding laundry. Have not done those aspects of the CJ Dunleavy discography yet, but we'll try. We'll get back to you guys on that one. That one might have to be a post-op video, but I can confirm sitting in a computer chair and looking into a web camera, certified bop, so I only speak my truth and what I know, so that's what I believe is the most accurate answer here. But no, so far it's been really solid. I would argue this one's my favorite one. Again, we have not listened to Roaring 20s, and I have listened to Talking, so I'm excited. We're getting
it's a real confidence boost for that song. Now I'm gonna love it. Be like, you know what? It's influencing me to like my songs.
Now I have to like my own songs.
I love my music.
The major conflict of every artist. I have to like my own music.
No, I'm like not on that level. I love all of my songs.
Yeah, you aren't afraid to let us know that you enjoy your music.
No, and I tell people, they're like, yo, isn't it kind of weird that you like your own music? I'm like, well, it might be, but considering the amount of money that I spend on these songs, I better like it by the end of it. Like, if I'm sitting there for 9 hours recording this,
that's true,
and I'm putting like months of work into it and a lot of money, like you
should get your money's worth.
Wrong.
If you hate your song at the end of the day, like either A, you're not spending enough money, or B, you need to like really kind of like hone it all in.
Reassess some things, yeah. So that's my take on artists liking their own music. They have every right to, the amount that they put into it.
I agree. So guys, we're gonna move it into track number 5, which is Roaring 20s. He missed a very cruel. I'm gonna deduct some points. He could have put roaring. Like never mind. Anyway,
Thought about it, and I'm so glad I didn't, and I don't regret it. I'm putting those points back in.
Well, I'm the one who's grading all this shit here, so I can.
Well,
no, I'm kidding.
I'm gonna
This is a D. I'm gonna have to see you after class,
Bro,
Mr. Doug.
I'm going by your office hours.
Okay, cool. Definitely do it. I'm here to talk about my grades on this live video. Anyway, we're gonna move into track number 5, guys. This is the Roaring 20s. We're gonna get into it in 3, 2, 1. All right.
Do you like to party so that you feel seen? Attention from you guys is part of our routine. Bumming off the body, smoking nicotine. We don't need to take responsibility. Playing drinking games, but we're losing allies.
All right.
Talk about yourselves to say it's nice, and then we pass out drunk and high on the floor. Have some more and say it's what a 20s are for. And then we pass out drunk and high on the floor. Have some more and say it's what a 20s are for. I'm not drunk at all, I've just been getting older. Is that what you say when you wanna be sober? Go ahead and you waste my time. Mistakes look better when you turn out the lights. I'm not drunk at all, I've just been getting older. Is that what you say when you wanna be sober? Go ahead and you waste my time. Mistakes look better when you turn out the lights.
I like the reverse reverb on the guitar there.
Like to party so that you feel seen. Pictures of ourselves that you know ain't clean. Went to bed as friends,
This feels very
lovers. It's fine though, we
IDFC.
know we won't date each other. Rinse and repeat, you know how it goes. I've been giving it away, girl, yeah, it shows. Missed calls from her, cause I like the game of drinking myself under and feeling day. And then we pass out drunk and high on the floor.
Wow.
Have some more and say it's what a 20s are for. I'm not drunk at all, I've just been getting older. Is that what you say when you wanna be sober? Go ahead and you waste my time. Mistakes look better when you turn out the lights. I'm not drunk at all, I've just been getting older. Is that what you say when you wanna be sober? Go ahead and you waste my time. Mistakes look better when you turn out the lights.
So in this next part, you can't hear it, but I'm saying I'm a package, but I never said a good one.
Did you really say that?
Oh, you tell me.
The things you did know about the song, but now you know.
I'm not drunk at all, I've just been getting older. Is that what you say when you wanna be sober? Go ahead and you waste my time. Mistakes look better when you turn out the lights. I'm not drunk at all, I've just been getting older. Is that what you say when you wanna be sober? Go ahead and you waste my time. Mistakes look better when you turn out the lights.
I'm not gonna lie. In that like reverse guitar part, I could only think about that Black Bear song where he's like, "I don't fucking care."
I don't know what you're talking about. There was no influence there whatsoever.
I knew you didn't comment on it earlier, and I was like, "Oh, I know, I got it. Boys, we got him." I was like, "Boys, we got him." You know what I'm saying? So I knew that. But anyway, guys, if you're just tuning in, this is track number 5, Roaring 20s. I enjoyed this one a lot. I think it really kind of like took a little bit to get off the ground, but then once it got into the chorus, that first chorus, then I was like, okay, I see what we're working with here. And then the lyrical thing that you told us about that I'm never gonna be able to unhear every time we get to the bridge. I I know those are the actual lyrics, I'm pretty sure, so that makes it that much worse. But I now can never unhear it. So I hope for people who saw this live, I hope you can enjoy your suffering along with me. So
I gotta find a way to put that on a shirt.
you could do it.
And no one, like, only everyone on this this live chat will know where that came from. I'm a package, but I never said a good one. I remember saying that, like, when we were about to record the bridge, and they're like, "Do you have any ideas for the bridge?" Because I was writing it in the studio, and I was like, "I have this line," and I just read it like straight face, and I forgot, like, you know, I'd known it for so long, I didn't react to it anymore, and I just read it out loud. Silence, and then Jeff just burst out laughing.
Well, fair enough. I also laughed very hard when you
It's
said
very
it.
funny. I remember thinking it, like, I was walking when I came up with the idea, and I was just like, "This is funny," and then I put it in the song. I was like, "All right, I'm happy I did that."
Oh boy, no, I can't unhear that. It's never gonna leave the psyche. But yeah, no. In terms of instrumentals, I feel like this one's a little bit different too. Again, kind of going with the theme of Black Bear. I feel like that one definitely has has some semblance to some Black Bear song that I totally did not reference in this live video that we're totally talking about, and I'm totally being absolutely vague about which song it may or may not have been for possible legal purpose. No, okay.
The purpose of this song, like, if you're thinking of the journey of this EP and energy levels, this was really meant to be the more chill and relaxed one. Like, it almost it almost kind of gives you a breather from how, like, high energy a lot of the EP is. Like, even with Better Life Unsaid, there's still a lot of energy there, and it's thought provoking, but it kind of gives you some breathing room to process, which is kind of what you're doing in the modern dating scene, just trying to figure out how you fit into it with your own emotions and values and morals. The concept of this song came out because there's a line I used to say a lot, where I kind of believe that, like, in society, at least American society, your 20s are meant for making bad decisions and just having fun and putting logic second and just trying to have a good time, and then you spend your later life really using your life experience that you go through in your 20s to make decisions going from there. So a line I say, like, when people would be like, "Oh man, I'm really messing up in life," I'm like, "Nah, man, it's what your 20s are for. It's all good." And I meant it as, like, a comforting, like, endearing line. But saying that so often really gave me the idea to create a song about that line and where it comes from and what you're actually doing and experiencing to bring yourself to use that kind of defense.
Yeah, no, certainly, and I think that kind of fills again the theming of the the entire EP of everyone is a song in the end. So I feel like those sorts of emotions that you feel as being in that dating scene and stuff, and I mean I used to be, but now I'm not anymore. But it kind of feels like that where, like, you can make mistakes and stuff, and then hopefully that's you live your life however you want to live it regardless. And so I'm pretty excited about this one because it definitely has a different vibe than I feel like some of the other ones have thus far, but still kind of keeping in the same, like, lyrical space of what you're doing. In terms of when this one was written, how in terms of time frame, how long ago was this written? How much changes did it go through?
You can go through a lot of changes. This song was Mike's idea.
Oh,
he was
cool.
like, so he actually wrote it and pitched it to me. And at the time, we had written a couple songs. Some, haven't been released, and we were writing. He was like, if you're writing an EP, at the time, we had a completely different idea of what the EP was going to look like. And he's like, you should end the EP with, like, something chill and cool and something you can, just put on while you're doing something. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm about it. He actually made this and then sent it to me, and I loved it. And then that's where it came about. So as far as the process goes, it was in the context of writing all of these songs, it was one of the earlier ones. I would say the first song on here was Unintentionally Broken Ones, and then it was this song, Roaring Twenties, and then Talking, Better Left Unsaid, Nicotine, It Ain't Me. So it was one of the earlier ones when I was writing this EP, but in the greater context, I was um, working on something else, and then it kind of this what it came to be now is how it came about.
And obviously, I know we mentioned this earlier about, you know, Mike being a part of like the process of doing some of the production and stuff, or, you know, a majority of it. How do you feel like the songs would have been like? I feel like you and Mike have a really good camaraderie in terms of like how the songs are put together and how they're like arranged, and how you guys, you know, I know we kind of briefly talked about certain things about, you know, how you guys have, you know, gone through sharing certain things in the writing process and stuff, you know, and how crucial it was, like, in terms of like how the songs came out on this EP, like, you know, do you think if you had gone with someone else that they would have hit the same kind of strives that they would have hit? Because I feel like, from what I can see from an outsider's perspective, it does feel like these songs would have definitely been a lot different in terms of how they would have came out, as opposed to, like, you know, working with Mike, because I feel like Mike understands your vision for what you want to do as like an artist.
Oh, 100%. We kind of created the vision together as we were writing, because it was just two guys just writing, you know, singing, making music, having a good time, and then the EP kind of took shape from there. So really, this wouldn't have happened without him. So it's really hard to imagine what it would have been like if it was just me. I know Talking was written before Mike and I really got together to make all of these songs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it certainly, I don't know if it would have had that same dynamic that it
Fair
does
enough.
here, where you have the high energy, the low thought provoking, back in the energy. Like, I don't know if it would have matched that, or would have been as good, or would have been what I was really looking for at the time when I was writing all of these. So he was absolutely integral. I couldn't imagine not doing any of these with him, or without him.
No, I feel that, and it does feel like a lot of the songs, like, are just intentionally like crafted very well, and, you know, from the perspective of just seeing kind of your growth, and I know we even talked about it in the interview, of just like seeing the songs being kind of more of a folksy sort of thing, and I feel like you could have still gone that route, you know, nonetheless. But I think incorporating sort of the pop sensibility of a lot of the stuff on this record, and, like, you know, still having those folky moments, you know, like throughout the EP, I think it's really I feel like you found this nice dynamic between the two, where it's not like one, you know, too far in one direction. It does feel like there is some like reining in of certain things, but it still gives you the liberty to like be like, okay, well, I'm gonna make a song that's more like talking and have more of a like a vibe to it, and then, you know, have songs that are like Better Left Unsaid, that are a little bit more in that sort of like singer songwriter, like, but like with a band, and kind of having like more of an energy to it, which I appreciate. And I don't think, like, when we were talking about it in the interview, I don't feel like I fully grasped it in terms of the EP, because obviously I didn't listen to it at that point in time. But now getting through like pretty much 90% of this right now, like, it does feel like the way that the softer songs are crafted super well, and then like some of the ones that are a little bit more, I'm curious to see how you're gonna be able to pull some of these off live, in terms of like, you know, tracks like Nicotine, or tracks like Broken Ones, or like Talking and stuff, where it has a lot more, you know, instrumental, like pop sort of bombacity to it.
Right.
It's going to be very interesting to see how those play out. Have you taken the thought of, like, you know, doing, I mean, I know a lot of these originally started out on just the acoustic guitar and like just you singing them. Do you feel like you take a different approach to when you do these live, you know, vocally, or do you kind of keep in the same sort of lane? Because that's something that's I don't think I've seen you play live, ironically enough, but listening to some of these songs, I'm curious how you're gonna try to like formulate some of them together.
I'm so excited and I'm so scared to play these live. Last time I played like live music was when it was all my folk stuff. So like it was literally what you heard from the studio. What you're gonna hear. So like these songs, like no, I'm not gonna be playing the MIDI keyboard as I'm playing, but I'm gonna need a drummer and a guitarist, and I've only ever played alone on stage. Maybe like one time at a house show, I had our good friend John. He helped me out with guitar like 4 years ago. But this will be really the only. I'll need more people with me to play these, and I'm gonna have to use a lot of the elements that are in the songs you hear to give our wonderful audience the experience they deserve, and something that is actually recognizable to what they are listening to from the studio versions.
You just gotta do a Ban Camino version of all this entire EP.
Dude, if I do that, I'd cry like last time I saw them live.
Well, you're gonna be seeing him again soon, so
I'm gonna do it all over. No, I won't. But
no.
I got.
But no, it's cool, and I know I was going to hard chill mode in our interview, but like it's cool to see the growth and stuff, and I know I'm kind of like dancing around the last track talking, but that's only because I've heard that one, and I'm sure most of the fan base has heard this one at this point.
Actually, the namesake of the EP is the last one.
Certainly, and I just think that as being a part of this journey with you, it's cool to see like where it all kind of started essentially, and obviously where it's going to be going further and stuff. So obviously kudos. This is gonna give me like obviously I gotta give this a rating thus far. I'm gonna give it what's below an F? No, I'm kidding. No.
Let's try again.
I'll do the Simon Cowell. Like I wasn't very impressed. It was not good. No. It so far it's cool to see. Like I think the best thing about seeing all of these songs kind of formulate together is that I think the roadmap in terms of how it was written and arranged, I think was the most impressive thing to me, not only in the aspect of like how the songs came out, but I think that the way that some of the songs like were just complete. Like I can't even imagine what an acoustic version of Nicotine sounds like as opposed to like the actual
that
version
one I
of
can
Nicotine.
tell you. Yeah, I could actually play that. That's a lot of fun. I actually did a live studio session in Brooklyn with just my acoustic guitar, and I actually recorded a couple. They're on vinyl. They're live acoustic sessions, and I have them of Nicotine, and they are on my website if anyone's interested in buying them. So
there we go. Well, you'll get to hear it there. But not to shill any longer or plague the inevitable, but we're gonna move it into the last track. Big tears. We're gonna move into the final track number 6, Talking, the final song in the CJ Dunleavy experience here. So we're gonna get into it in 3, 2, 1.
They're just fires, pure fire that burn everything and die as quickly as they start. I miss my girl, but I don't know who that is anymore. I've seen too many.
The song hits a little different now.
Myself, I like you and I don't, and I'd rather take it slow, but I know we won't. So let's talk our clothes off and I'll show you how I kiss. Oh God, I can't go through with this unless we're just talking. Put your clothes back on. Love will be knocking. Yet I've never seen it last long. If you want something serious, don't say you want a new experience.
I remember when I first heard this, I was like, what the fuck?
Cause everyone I know is a song in the end.
Oh. Hit him with the title.
Give me fire. I don't care if
I forgot how clean that transition was. That's such a cool transition.
down a peg so many times. Hit me with the I'm not ready to be with someone, cause you think your life stops being fun. You say I'm not dateable but still relatable. I don't think that's how it's done. I'll tell myself I like you and I don't, and I'd rather take it slow, but I know that we won't. So let's talk. Our clothes off and I'll show you how I kiss. Oh God, I can't go through with this unless we're just talking. Put your clothes back on, 'cause love will be knocking. Yet I've never seen it last long. If you want something serious, don't say you want a new experience. And trust me, you don't wanna be more than friends, 'cause everyone I know is a song in the end.
All right, guys, if you tuned in at the very last minute, what you do is you take that slider and you put it all the way back to no, okay. If you made it to the end, this is the last song, track number 6, Talking, with a V and not an A, which I think we talked about in one of our one of the interviews for SEO purposes. If you know what that is, shout out SEO gang, you know what I'm saying? But this one was the last track off of his brand new EP, Everyone I Know Has a Song in the End, coming out on June 3rd. Very excited. You heard it here first. Literally, you did hear it here first.
I literally heard it first.
Quite literally heard it first.
I showed you at one point.
Unless you're watching it on June 3rd, then you'd still be hearing it for the first time. But anyway, besides the point, I already knew I liked this song, so I'm not gonna go through the whole shill aspect of it, because I feel like I shilled a lot on Broken Ones. But this one's super solid. I think like it's a great way to end the like EP, because I feel like it almost comes like full circle in that way. Obviously he talks about the song title, you know, very appropriate. But I feel like it kind of like you were talking earlier, where it has like, you know, you got this high moment, then you kind of got like a lower moment, you got a high moment, kind of got a lower moment, you know, and it keeps with that sort of same like energy of like it leaves you on a high almost. I do like the like the sonic change in like I want to say it's like in a bridge, like where it just goes ba 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 ba, and it changes the.
That's
like
actually that's the second half of the chorus.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
The second half of the chorus is rocking. You know, it's complete. The vibes are changed for sure, and you know, I thought for sure you're gonna do your best, you know, like hype man kind of moment there, where you're gonna go like, you know, level 10 Jamaican man. But
oh my god,
it could have made that moment happen. I know it's a hindsight's 2020 moment here, but we could have had some like, you know, Baha Men action here in that second. I'm sorry.
Oh, get out of here.
But no, for real, I did really enjoy that. I think upon first listen, I was like, I think I enjoyed it a lot. I feel like I enjoyed it, but I enjoy it much more in the context of this EP, because it just works out a lot better. And I think that the way that it's arranged, it just really is cool. But on your perspective, how long ago was this one written, CJ? And then like in terms of crafting the song, it seemed pretty straightforward from some of the other ones. I think we talked about this like early on, but how much did it change?
Something I love to do in my lyrics, and I loved it so much I had to stop doing it as often, was breaking the fourth wall as an artist. So in talking, everyone I know is a song. In the end, that's me as an artist speaking, breaking the fourth wall to the listener. In Better Left Unsaid, I do it too. I hope you don't know this song is for you. This song started out very similarly to Better Left Unsaid. I knew, well, this was as I started like to get into the pop rap genre, and I wrote it. It was pretty Mumford and Sonsy actually when it started out, because it started out on acoustic guitar. But I knew the lyrics were completely different. It was the same. It's very similar words when I started it, but it was like, unless we're just talking, or like, if we're just talking, put your clothes back on. It was actually completely opposite, like, of what it started out as. It was like, it was actually kind of sad and a little like darker. And I was like, you know what if I just like made it not, and just made it like super energetic, and then instead of like plucking the strings, I like hit them. Which is what ended up becoming the bah, bah, bah. I was like, oh, this is really cool. So it was completely flipped, but this was the first song off the EP, what later ended up becoming this EP. This was the first song out of all of them that I wrote. And it's funny that it is the last song, and it's kind of, I don't want to say beautiful, but it's definitely interesting that as far as track listing goes, the symbolism behind it. Because at first I thought, the way it ends kind of gives a really nice finale feel to it, even though it was the first song I wrote for it. But it had this great finale aspect to it. But with the chorus saying "Everyone I Know Is a Song in the End," and having it be the last song, it kind of is like me as the singer or the narrator looking back on all of these songs, telling you a story with all of them, and the conclusion or the lesson is the name of the EP.
Wow. So poetically said.
Right. So like, yeah, I'm kind of talking about, it's kind of like just reflecting on all of these songs that and how they came to be.
Yeah, and it's like I said, kind of. I know we talked about it too, like this being like your version of like going having this person go through the dating scene, and like some of the knowing what's going on in between those lines and stuff, and kind of putting those ideas onto like paper and obviously singing them to an audience and stuff. I think I don't feel like for like people who are unassuming, I feel like it's not like something that is just super out there, but I feel like if there's certain things like lyrically, like I would say like Better Left Unsaid, and maybe like Roaring 20s or something like that has a little bit more depth to it, like lyrically, that if you wanted to go more into it, you could, I think that's really cool. And obviously, like kind of the way that you put it together, I think was really smart. And obviously having talking at the end to kind of wrap everything up in something that, people should be already familiar with, then it just makes that process a little bit easier. So, really enjoyed this little hangout here with, CJ. Thanks for letting me come on here and talk about the record together.
Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, no problem. I'm sure you're excited that it's finally going to be released on June 3rd, as we mentioned at the top of the show. In terms of new music, I know I kind of heard little tidbits of things here and there, but How's that process been? I feel like because of the pandemic, people have had a lot more time to work on new music. So can we? I mean, obviously this isn't out yet, but I imagine you're working on new tunes as we're currently speaking.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have I have more than a few that I wouldn't say they're completely done, but they're definitely along the way. Just some cool ideas that I've had conceptually. COVID actually kind of gave me a huge writer's block for a while because, as you see with this EP, a lot of my songs are experience based. So
Sure.
by not experiencing things, I kind of hit a rut in my writing. But what's exciting about this EP coming out is that it's like a sweet release because I've been sitting on this for a while, so I felt like
Yeah.
I can't put out new music until this is there. But with that said, I have some things in the works, like some ideas that I've been sitting on for a while that I'm working on that are pretty experimental, and then I have other ones where I'm going back to my roots a little bit with some pop folky singer songwriter vibes, but with a new take after going through all of this range of being an artist, going back to it and seeing how I sound now is very exciting. I'm very happy with all these songs that are coming out now. I feel like when I wrote these songs, I was in a completely different mental state. Not
Sure.
like
Yeah.
I wasn't like really bad or anything, but like I have different priorities and a different mindset on things now. So I'm looking forward to not having songs that are so focused on like heartbreak and sadness and things that kind of seem like inherently negative with a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm looking forward to exploring different experiences, mindsets, and opportunities for singing now. So very excited.
There we go. And then obviously the last or second to last thing, or we could continue talking forever, but the next thing I have for you is do you have any plans for a release show of any sorts, or things you wanted to plug about the album the EP release, and if people can like purchase it, or like where they can purchase it, and anything else like where maybe they can go out and support you.
Yeah, so right now I'm kind of putting the digital my digital brand out first before I get into shows. So really honing in on the e-store. My favorite thing right now is my big 18 by 24 posters that are like a vintage movie promo for the EP that I'm really excited about. And just getting some more merch lined up, which I know you have specifically helped me with. Pardon the voice crack. Thank you, buddy. So I've got the e-store lined up, and just really investing in the marketing side with influencers and social media ad promotion and just getting content out there. So that's really what the focus is. And then once we have the live experience, honed in, we're gonna go through that looks like and take it from there. But right now, just e-store, listen wherever you can, and hopefully all your favorite celebrities that you follow are gonna jam to it soon.
So the last thing is, CJ, tell the people where they can find you at on like social media, and where they can kind of keep up to date on what's happening with CJ Dunleavy.
Yeah, man. So CJ Dunleavy, spelled exactly as you see it here. If you have some trouble finding it, put C.J. when you search. Anywhere you listen to music, you can go to my website, cjdunleavy.com, or you can follow me on, Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, and keep up to date that way.
There we go. Well, again, major shout outs to CJ. We've been good buddies for, God, I don't even know how long now at this point. It's been a very long time. But always love seeing the growth. I know we talked about this in the interview, which I'll leave a link in the description to go watch. It was great. I will say that the last clip, I totally don't know how it happened, but somehow we got out of focus slightly. So I pardon that the shot is slightly out of focus. So if you are a little OCD like me, you're having a heart attack. But for people who don't have OCD, then Good for you. Anyway, so I've been really enjoying CJ's growth, and honestly, I have been like pestering him to come on to do this for a very long time. So I'm glad we were finally able to actually do it. But please go check out my brother, CJ Dunleavy. Links are in the description. Please go give Everyone I Know is a Song in the End out on June 3rd. It's going to be on all streaming platforms. For those who tuned in to the live stream, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for watching. Really do appreciate it. If you enjoy this sort of content, it's going to be very similar to what you see here on the channel. So very goofy, very funny, all that sort of stuff, that energy. We keep the same energy here.
Subscribe, please.
So please subscribe. I want to say thank you to everyone thus far. This was a little bit ago, but thank you for helping me get past 2K. We're just on the up and up, and I'm excited to see where we're going to be going next. But again, huge thanks to CJ. Please go give him some love, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll be talking soon. All right, guys?